What's up? I'm gonna do something a little different today. Um, I have a day off, and I was gonna go do a clear shots plays, and I couldn't come up with a game um, to play. So, and I remember thinking about doing this not too long ago, um, doing a mobile game, which I've never done before, not on here at least. Um, And so my phone has some kind of cool features, and it's letting me record my game and also record a video at the same time. So that's pretty cool. So I said, hey, let's play Retro Bowl because this is one of my favorite uh, mobile games that's available right now. And I mean, for a bunch of reasons, but let's go ahead and get into it. So this is Retro Bowl. It's available on the Google Play Store. I'm assuming it's also on the iTunes Store or whatever they call it, Apple Store, App Store probably. I haven't had an Apple device in so long that I don't even know what they even use anymore. The last time I had one, I think, was the iPod Touch, which was like an iPhone basically, but without the phone. Um, but yeah, it's on all those. It's on your phone, so you can download it for free. There is it's like, I don't know if it's an ad-free version. I don't remember there ever being ads, but I know there's like let's see if I can find the like purchases. Is there a store button? It's right there, but it's like grayed out, so I can't click on it. But there is like a version you can buy that's like it's like, I guess there's a limited version if you download it for free, but it's only a couple dollars if you do want to get into it. Either way, it's a fun game, and so it's a football game, and the reason I like it is because it reminds me of like the old Tecmo Bowl games, or like Super Tecmo Bowl or whatever, but it's sort of modernized too. So you can go, here's your front office. Like, this is my franchise basically. Um, and like, so how the game basically works is you start off as a coach, you pick a team that wants to sign you, and then you kind of work your way up. But now, like with the newer updates, you can actually you can skip that if you want to entirely and just pick the team that you want to play. Now, this does have like NFL team names. It doesn't have NFL rosters. Uh, but what's really, really cool about this game is if I go to roster, I can actually click these players and edit their names and just basically make these rosters whatever I want them to be. So Green Bay, and you can even change the teams and stuff too. So if I go to edit teams, NFC, you can even change the name of the conferences and the divisions and everything. So that's really, really cool. So if I click Green Bay, I can change the name of the team. I can change like the abbreviated name. I can change all the colors for their home and away jerseys. So like, there's a lot. Like, there's a lot of customization, which is really cool. So as you saw there, I had Aaron Jones, like Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and that's got like Hall of Fame, it's got records, it's got all kinds of cool stuff now, and they keep updating it. So I'm gonna hop into a game here finally. You can change your uniforms and stuff like that in your in the screen, pregame screen. So now you don't play defense, you just kind of skip through these little dialogues, and so you're only gonna play offense. Now, what's cool is like the controls are really pretty good for what this is. I'm gonna, well, that's nothing really, but so I click. The blue's my running back, obviously. If I tap on the blue route there, I run the ball. If I want to pass the ball, I can tap on my quarterback, who's flashing with white circle there, and drag backwards. And now I'm controlling this little thing. And I just threw an interception but that's how it works basically. So you have it basically selects a play for you. Now you can change the play, so you can audible, but you can only do it 4 times per half. So I don't know, that's eventually I'm assuming they'll make some changes to that, figure something out. There's also clock management and stuff. I believe the default like settings don't give you 3 timeouts, they give you 2 because the quarters are only 2 minutes long in the default, but in the settings you can make them 3 minutes, and you can add another timeout by doing that, by changing it to 3 minutes. Now, basically the running controls are pretty simple. You just swipe up and down on the screen to dodge defenders. Now, when this game first came out, it was totally overpowered. Like, you could just dodge up and down and, like, basically beat everybody super easily. Like, I would score on every play. Okay. That linebacker got to that somehow. Good thing I'm playing Detroit, because I've thrown 2 interceptions. But now they've made it a lot harder, and that was actually a pretty sick play. So your players, as you play, they get better, obviously. There's actually progression in this game, which is another reason I like it. This is a mobile game that has this sort of depth and progression that's really, really cool. And so the better these players are, the more likely they are to make these kind of plays. And so you want a fast receiver that can beat guys down the sideline. You want like a running back with a lot of strength so that he can break tackles. And then you also want speed, obviously, so you can get through these running plays a little bit quicker. If you get a 5-star like running back or a 5-star wide receiver, you're in really good shape. I know, like, once I got a really, really good wide receiver, I just started dominating. I was throwing the ball on every play. Your quarterback's pretty important too, because it helps determine how far you can throw the ball and how accurately too. So like I said, there's a decent amount of depth to this game, and it's really like, it's one of the, like, I've never heard anybody really talk about this game. And I'm going to just go to halftime here. Just run the ball again. But like, I've never even heard anybody really talk about this game. I only downloaded it because I was looking for like a football game that wasn't Madden, because Madden on mobile just takes way too long and it feels unnecessary. I could just play Madden. And this is like perfect. Oh, I fumbled. But this is perfect because it's not like it's not too time consuming. The games aren't super long, and they're also deep enough where it feels fun. And there's also progression, so you're always working towards a better team. So not only can you get better players, you can also get better coaching staff, so you get a better defensive coordinator, and that's a big move because you don't play defense in this, like I said. So like, if you got a really good defense and got a bunch of good defensive players and a good defensive coordinator, it keeps teams from scoring, which keeps you from having to score very much. So, that's a smart move sometimes. So when you go through this like story mode or season mode or whatever they have, whatever it is that they call it, it's the only mode in the game, but there is a draft, there are free agents, there are trades, although they're somewhat shallow. You do get offered trades every once in a while for like draft picks and stuff like that. But there's options, and you can always, invest in a defense or invest in your offense and just put up points like crazy. There's also like little things in between games where players will get traffic stops or whatever, and you'll have to choose whether you want to find that player or if you want to let it slide and kind of hurt the morale of the team. There's sort of like basically just a bunch of GM decisions that you have to make, or head coach decisions that you have to make throughout the game, and that's pretty cool. And I mean, I really appreciate the work that they've put into this game, because it's like, I don't know, it's just a random game on the Play Store, and I was really surprised at like how fun the controls are, and throwing the ball is a lot of fun, and you do get some intense moments too, like if you're down to the wire and trying to score in the last like 20 seconds or whatever, you're saving timeouts, you're trying to complete something on the sideline, like it's really cool. Um, oh, I doinked it off the post. So they kicked a field goal. We're still up by 10 with 34 seconds left, so it's over pretty much. So at this point, you can't take a knee, so I'm just going to run the ball. But like I said, you can change these plays. Now, like I said, you get 4 per half. So you can just kind of tap it. It's almost like this like slot machine, because it's really random. Like you don't know what the play is. And another problem that I have with this, and like there's a lot of customization already, but they should allow you to create playbooks, even if you can't choose your plays in real time. If you could create a playbook, that'd be really cool. But I'm sure they're just gonna keep adding to this game. It's like, I feel like I take breaks from this game every once in a while, and then I come back to it, and it's got like way more feature wise than it did before. So like after the game, it's going, okay, well, your defensive back had a great game, and now you can choose to give them praise, or basically raise the morale of the whole team by saying something like, "Oh, I thought the whole team played great," or whatever. So this little smiley face up here on the corner of him, is his morale, his personal like morale. So like you want to keep that high for the most part, because it makes them play better. I think they do get a bonus, like stat bonus for it. But if their morale is low, they're more likely to get caught doing, like, you'll have guys get fights outside of nightclubs and stuff like that. When their morale is low, it's like they're toxic to your locker room. They're toxic players, and you want to get rid of them. I think that's really cool. I think it adds a level of depth that even Madden doesn't really have. But I'll play another game. Screw it. So it does have so you can turn these scan lines on. It makes it, I don't know if you can really tell, but it makes it a little more classic. It looks like a CRT TV or something. Drive direction just means you can set it to only move to the left and right. So instead of after every quarter you switch sides, it's you're only scoring on the left end zone or the right end zone or whatever. Quarters, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. There's an option for that. You have music and sound effects. I always play all my mobile games without it. There are dynamic difficulties, which is really cool. You can manually set the difficulty if you want to, but I like leaving it on dynamic so that as I get better, the computer gets better as well. Weather on and off, and a 12-man roster, you can change that to a 10-man roster. So if I go to my roster, I can look at each guy. You can choose to bench guys. Now, if their morale is low, you can use a meeting option like this. Improving one coach credit. So yes, so I raise his morale. Now, the coach credits are up here in the top left corner. I have 17 of them. And those can be used for a bunch of different things. So you can, let me see, where's my staff? So I can hire staff with coach credits. I can upgrade my stadium with coach credits, my training facilities, my rehab facilities. Now your stadium, I don't know how much that really matters. It probably helps your team's like morale. Your training facility does help. It allows your players to get more experience from games, and your rehab facilities allow your guys to recover faster from games. So you do want to upgrade those things optimally. So that was week 17. So now I'm starting the playoffs, and I will. Why do I have a benched? Oh, okay, yeah. So I do have 3 wide receivers. I don't remember why. I think someone just offered me a trade, and I like just took it. Uh, I already have 2 pretty good wide receivers, so I'm not worried about it. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. But yeah, like it's basically like you can choose to build your team how you want, which is cool. You can build a run heavy team, and you can like just draft a bunch of offensive linemen if you really want to, and then have a 5-star running back. And like I said, it's cool that you can customize these players. You can change their names to basically make it feel like an NFL licensed game. Or you can just create your own teams, which is really cool. And you saw, like, you can play with all the colors and, like the uniforms and stuff like that. Field goals are pretty simple. You're just picking the power, and then you have to just tap to accurately kick it. Now, this is my first game. There are 5 game slots you can save in, which was pretty cool. So you could have 5 different franchises going at once. I think it's 5. I only have 2 currently. I have a custom team that I played around with, and then I also have this one. This is the first one I started. And so like you also break tackles a lot easier if your characters have more strength. See how it says stiff arm? Like that right there, like you don't really get that if you don't have strength on your running back. And it's helpful because if you can break one tackle in this, a lot of times like you can break something away pretty easily. And sometimes if you just run up the gut, I mean, I've had times where like I literally just tap the running back and then stop touching the screen altogether and still score because he just gets through it quickly. And you can dive too, which is nice. If you swipe forward the direction that your character's running, you'll dive. And it keeps you from fumbling, which is nice, but it also gives you an extra yard or 2. It does, however, make things pretty much impossible. Like I can just do that. So like you can pretty much go for 2 on every play if you want to, and you got a good shot at getting it until that dynamic difficulty starts to catch up with you. I've found that at higher difficulties they do stop you pretty quick. But yeah, like difficulty wise, it's not too bad until like you get deep into the game. And that's the thing. Like you don't want this game's like boring if it's too easy for sure. It's part of the reason I like stopped playing it for a short period of time. I was gonna just try to let him run with it. So I've got 12 seconds. I'm gonna just try and like throw something deep. I'm going to get down and call a timeout and then kick a field goal here. But so I usually skip quick. Whoa, I didn't do that on purpose at all. So I just QB sneaked, and I don't even really know how to do that. I was tapping the screen really quick to skip through the defense. But yeah, it's like a really cool game, and anyone who's played Tecmo Bowl or Super Tecmo Bowl, I mean, it does look a lot like those games. And obviously, it's a, obviously that's the point. That's the reason for the design choice. But it's a really fun mobile game. Like, it's something you can kill some time with, and it's deep enough where you like can keep coming back to it. One of the problems with mobile games now is like everything's just begging for your money at all times, and like there's a lot of timers on things too, like real-time timers where you can't do anything until you recharge like this random currency or whatever, some stupid shit. With this, you can play it. I mean, sometimes I find myself playing this a lot and long sessions, 6 or 7 games, and that's something you don't get a lot from a mobile game. Now I'm like at a fourth and inches, so I'm just gonna run it here. And like I said, if you just dive on a short play like that, you're gonna get it. Now I'm just gonna try and dump this off to the comeback route, and it did not work. So, I mean, pretty much if I score here, I put it away. Oh. And that might be a first down, though. So I'm just going to dive, and that's a pretty big lead. Now, like I said, like if your defense is good enough, you're going to have games where you're only allowing 3 points. 6 points. Okay. Oh. But yeah, like, it has a lot of depth to it, and that's why I like it. It's also just fun to play. Like the throwing is just like the passing game is actually fun to play around with. So there's that. And again, you get a press interview. I'm just gonna. At this point, either one of those options would have done nothing because they're both maxed. I have max fans and then max morale on that player. So now my defensive back. So like from what I'm assuming, attribute wise, tackling is obvious. It's tackling. Strength, I'm not sure what strength is exactly. Maybe it's like it has to do with what the person here tackling's strength. It's like you don't get to see defense, so you don't really know. Speed is obvious. Stamina is basically how long you can run at your full speed before you start slowing down. And I'm going to put something in strength, even though I don't know what it does. It's just a low stat on that guy. So if I continue, it's going to show me who, like the bracket of the playoffs. My next game's at Minnesota or versus Minnesota. And that's it. So I'm just going to, oh, here's the store right here. Unlimited version. So I bought it. I don't remember how much it was. It couldn't have been too much. You can buy coaching credits, but it's really unnecessary. You can earn those really easily just by playing. Obviously, I mean, I have 20 of them. And, if you look at, like, what it costs to hire some of these guys, it's not too much more. And I earned, like, 3 just from that game. So, yeah, if you play the game, you don't have to worry about it. Now, your draft picks are down there, too. So you can trade those draft picks away for certain players. Now, I think the trade deadline already expired in this season. Yeah, because I'm in the postseason. But, so I couldn't show you something like that. But your draft picks, you can trade away. You can also get them if you if I think teams will offer you draft picks for certain players that you have on your roster already throughout the year. So yeah, there is a salary cap too. So like there's a lot of detail to this game, and it's really cool. So go download it. It's free. I'm not doing a fucking ad for it, but it's a fun game. I have a lot of fun with it. Retro Bowl on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. I'm assuming. I'm assuming it's on the App Store. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you soon.